Hello everyone, it's Marcia Carrinza. I'm here again on behalf of Scrappy Boy Stamps. I will be assembling the newly released Happy Birthday pop-up envelope die. I posted a sneak last weekend, but then I was awaiting some dies so that I could add a couple extra elements to show you how to use additional dies to dress up this die set. So I will show you what all these pieces can be used for, and how I chose to use them for this card assembly. I also have a card already assembled that is very basic, doesn't require any coloring, as if you needed to create something quick. I think it's a lot of fun. So let's get started here. So this again is the Happy Birthday pop-up envelope die set. There are many dies. I should have counted. That's where I messed up. I meant to count all the number of dies so I could tell you exactly how many pieces there were in the set. I won't do that right now. But Mr. Sean did want me to mention that there will be add-ons coming to this set so that you can dress it up for different occasions, which I think is very exciting. I love how we can expand the use of the things we have with accessory sets. So a Halloween set will be coming, as well as Christmas and flowers. I'm not exactly sure when those will be releasing, but those will be coming soon. All right, so here are all your die pieces. These are the main pieces to create the envelope box card itself. This is the back panel that die cuts this piece here. I just tried to lay my stuff out to give me an idea. Cuts this piece here with the tabs. These create the score lines you need to fold your tabs in, like this. Okay, so that's the main back piece. Then you have the front piece, like this. Die cuts plain here. There are no tabs needed on this piece because you use the tabs that are die cut on that back piece, like so, okay? Other pieces that you could utilize would be this. It goes on the inside of the envelope to create additional layers. So if you wanted to create a scene or something, it fits down within here, and you'll see when we assemble it. It has little tabs like so. See, they're much shorter, so that when you assemble them into your envelope box card, as you'll see when we assemble it, it gives you room. I don't know if you can see that very well. I've got a light. I'm trying to work on lighting. I'm not using the light on my ring light this time. I have another light pointing in to see if that will help. But as you can see, it kind of gives us some space to work with, so we can create different layers of dimension within the box card. And you can use this, I'll show you what ideas I have for here, but yes, you can cut this. You can even trim a little bit extra off the tabs if you wanted to create additional layers and dimension within your envelope box card. Okay, so that's what this piece is. And those are primarily the basic foundational pieces of the envelope. So the other pieces with the stitching layers are obviously decorative elements. So this rectangular stitched piece will go and layer upon this insert piece, okay? Then we have these three pieces. Let me make sure I have these laid out right. These three pieces cut the stitched layering detail for the very front of the envelope, as so, as you see here, okay? Those are ones I couldn't necessarily, well, I fit a couple of these, I think, on my magnet, but all of them definitely did not fit. Oh goodness, it's like a puzzle. I don't know how many of you guys have the same issues. When you get it on there, you're like, oh crap, how do I get it back? All right. And then we have this beautiful stitched piece here. This obviously is for the inside portion of the back. You can also use it for the back, and you'll, if you needed to, if you used colored cardstock on this piece or pattern paper for the foundational base, then you could cut it out of white, and that's what I've done on my other example to show you that you can use it that way as well. All right, then we have our cake layers. You have one smaller cake layer here, and then a larger cake layer. There's no stitching on those pieces. And then you have your icing layers here. Those could also be used as other kind of drippy goop if you wanted to use this, say, in For a Halloween sense, they could be slimy or bloody or what have you on there. All right. Then we have, oh, these two stitched panels here. I love that he included these. I think this kind of ups the beauty of this envelope box card when it's assembled. Those stitched panels are for the two sides here. So when you lay it flat to ship it, you'll be able to see it, and it'll look beautiful all the way around, which I think is very nice. Then we have 3 candles. They are separate pieces. It allows you to, I guess, maybe maximize your paper so you can place them where you like, or use them if you wanted to use different colors for different pieces, right? So you have 3 of the background candle pieces and then 3 layering pieces if you chose to do so, as well as 3 flames. And the last piece within the die set is the happy birthday with the word die with the shadow layer. And one thing I love is the word die is almost one piece except for the little top of the eye. Please watch out for that. I neglected to pull that apart at first and went, oh no. Luckily my negatives, I had not thrown them away yet. So I was able to retrieve the little dot of the eye. So just be mindful of that. If you do happen to trash it, you know, you could use like a little rhinestone or anything like that to kind of recreate the dot if you did not want to re-die cut out your pieces. But at least layering the shadow layer behind the words is very, very easy, unlike some where you kind of have to eyeball it out. So those are all of the pieces here. Hopefully I made that clear for you. So now I will set this aside. Okay. Let me recross my legs. I'm sitting on the floor. And I'm a bit congested. The temperature dropped, which is beautiful, but my sinuses are wreaking havoc on my body. Okay. So for the envelope box card that I'll be assembling for you today, I chose to use the She's a Dream die cut pieces. I love the die cut pieces. It makes for quick assembly if you don't have time to color. And for those who are not comfortable coloring, these are a wonderful option to have in your stash. Very affordable, and they include 45 pre-colored die cut pieces. So it makes it very easy to deal with. I'm also using the She's a Dream 6x6 paper. Gorgeous paper. Oh my goodness. And it's, if you haven't used it before, it's very, very sturdy paper. So it's wonderful to use in this application. It makes for a very sturdy card. I pre-cut all of my pieces. I also took a couple measurements of things for you in case that comes up, because I know sometimes that's a question I have myself when I'm watching videos like this. So let's get to assembling. So this is my little silicone craft mat so I don't get glue on my carpet. All right, hopefully my glue's ready to roll. It's running low, so you're gonna see me manhandle it here. Okay, so I'm gluing my back beautiful stitched panel here. I love the scalloped edge on it. I think it's very, very pretty. And I'm just kind of making sure it's even up here at the top. It does come a little lower here at the bottom, but that's fine for me. I care more about this because that's what I'm gonna see. So let's push that down there. Okay, I'm gonna set this off to the side, and now we're going to dress up the front of the envelope before we attach it all together. Envelope. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I think it's just my congestion. That's making me sound like I'm talking through my nose. In fact, let's go ahead and glue these little side pieces on too. May not matter, but I tried to die cut them so they were about the same. So we put them on the side. I'm just gonna put it here on the side. Sometimes that's easier. I don't know if anybody else does things like that. For smaller pieces, sometimes I just like to apply the glue to the bottom and not to the little piece and then have to carry it with glue on it. Making sure that's there. Okay, let's do the other side. Forgive my sniffling. All right, and thank you guys for your patience with this video coming too. I hope to do it during the week, but I was not able to do that. Okay, it's very easy to see where these go because luckily there's that curved part here. So let's see, I believe I will start with these pieces so it'll make it easier to place. Ooh boy, that bottom one. There we go. It's always fun and hard to decide what paper to use or what side of the paper to use because you only have so many of each style. I don't know if anybody else struggles with that. You're like, oh man, I don't want to die cut it all from this one because then I lose the purple glitter. Of course, you could just buy more paper. Naturally. I'm sure Mr. Sean would not mind if you had to buy more paper. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, so that's dressed up there. So let's see. I will go ahead and glue, well, let me think. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and glue one side on. I'm not going to close it yet because I want to get my inserts inside and then I'll close up the front all the way. But I will glue one side on. Again, this is just how I'm choosing to do it. You can definitely glue it straight up on. You could put your inserts in first and then glue the front on. Completely up to you. But that way I can lay it out and visually see what I'm doing here. Make sure I like it, you know. I'm sure many of you guys do the same thing. You lay everything on the card and make adjustments as you see fit. That way we can kind of do the same thing with this envelope. See, this is the general construction. Isn't it precious? Oh my goodness. I love the detail. And again, you could die cut another piece back here. You could even just use a lighter color cardstock to dress it up even more, but it's very sturdy, especially with this patterned paper because it's really sturdy paper. All right, so now let's talk about these insert layers to create your dimension. This is what the piece looks like. I kind of measured it. They are not beautiful, even measurements. They're a little trickier, I will say that. So they're probably metric. I didn't measure in metric just simply because most of what we use here in the US is, what is it, empirical? Is that what it's called? So it measures somewhere between 3 7/8 and 3 15/16. So I guess if we had to get down to the nitty gritty of that, what's that? Oh my goodness. 15 times 2 is 30. So like 29 32s or something is probably what we're looking at here. We're not going to get that nitty gritty here. If you wanted to die cut like I did here, I used his beautiful, what is this one called? The Grass and Clouds Edger dies. This set, this is what I was waiting for. I wanted to use these clouds to show you how you could add those additional elements to these pieces to create more interest and create more of a scene within the envelope. So what I did was laid this down on my trimmer, butted it up to the edge because I have a guillotine trimmer, and chopped it to fit. You could always just layer your piece over it and then take your snips and trim it to fit. But I did want to give you the measurements here in case you were wondering. So it's between 3 7/8 and 3 15/16. So just go right over 3 7/8 or, you know, trim it just shy of 4 inches. It's not 4 inches. So the layering piece is 3 13/16. Again, just over 3 3/4, okay? And you'll see the difference here. It's very little, but it's just smaller. Oops. You see? Okay. So in case you're wondering, those are the measurements, or the widths rather, of this inner piece and the matting piece. All right. I cut another one. I used a scrap of paper. It wasn't the same width. It doesn't matter. I can tuck this in there and move it around if needed. But I just wanted to show you could do that as well. If you're going to be hiding layers in or staggering it, depending on where you put it, you wouldn't need it this full width. You could use something shorter and adjust that as well, okay? So you have some wiggle room there. All right, so now let me glue this piece over here. Actually, before I do that, let's look at how we want to assemble this, okay? Let's see, because I was toying with some ideas here. So I had this really cool, like, iridescent vellum I found in my stash. I was very, very excited because I thought it would be really pretty with this. I know there's a crease in it. We're going to hide that here. So I thought of adding one of the layers just behind here. Just glue it right in here. flush to that piece. Now again, we could bump it up to create more dimension, and we could do that. But let's just lay out some ideas here first. We have this piece here. I cut it to the same width. We could put that down and then put the layering piece over the top, which is what I was considering doing. Or we could lay the layering piece down and then you could see it just as a peeky behind. So there's a couple ways that we could do this, okay? I am not sure which one I prefer. That's why I didn't want to glue this right side, so we could play with, or so I could play with, because I'm not doing this live, placement ideas, because we know our beautiful Genie lady is going to go here. I think I'm going to tuck it behind just so you can see more of the pattern paper behind her. And I did cut another layer here in case I wanted to add that in there. And you know what? Let's do that so I can show you that idea as well then. So like I shared before, we can use this, and I'm going to knock a little chunk off to make this really wee. Boop. No exact science here. Although you know I do love some science. I'm wearing my space pants today, see? My galaxy pants. All right, so we're going to tuck this one just behind here. I don't want to see it, all right? Actually, I think we're going to have to flip it around here so it'll do what we want it to do. And then I will glue this to it. So let's figure out where we're going to have to do this so it'll work right and you won't see it. I think that will work like that. All right, so let me just eyeball where that's going to have to go. Oh, glue, don't fail me now, please. I'm running low. Try to even it up as much as possible. This paper wasn't exactly even in there. If I have to trim more off that layer, I will. I think we will have to shave a little bit off the side there. Let me get my bigger snippies. Okay. I'm going to have to snippy a little bit off of this one too. You're being so a touchy little card. There we go. Just a hair off. Okay. So now we're going to glue this layer in just so it's just beneath there, okay? Oh boy. Just on the tab, we can smear it out. My hands are just not cooperating with my body. I believe that's weird. Wait a minute. What am I doing here? Yeah, I was doing that right. Okay, so you see I'm lining it up just within this little bend panel. You see I got messy with my glue. Again, nobody's going to see that piece. So, see, Marcia, what are you doing? I've glued it on the wrong side. Am I doing this right? No, I was doing it right. Oy vey. Let's try that again. All right. Make sure it's as straight as I can get it. Does not look like it's very straight. And then we can glue that on this piece. Well, we don't want to do that yet because I need to add another layer. But that's how I will do it. I'll add glue and then push it down like that. So let's get an idea of what we're looking at now. Okay, so we have that layer. So let's add, good gravy train. This does not want to cooperate with me today, does it? We'll give that a chance to do its thing. All right, so let's glue this layer on. I'm not going to go straight over to the edge because, you know, vellum doesn't like glue. They are not best friends. It gets all weird. So let's add this one. Add our layering piece. Uh-oh, 20 minutes. I usually try to keep these quick. I'll be wrapping up soon, I promise. Okay. Now let's get this piece in there. Now see, I made it more complicated by adding extra layer, so shame on me. So we're gonna add this in here. So we have an extra layer. Might poke it up even higher because I think that will be fun. Ugh, balls. I'm gonna have to re-glue that one. This one I'm just gonna get right up there in the corner and have this top line up with the top of the side there. I think the paper I used for my base, I grabbed it, and I think it had a little bit of a slicky surface, and that's being a butt face for me right now. I don't see my score tape is hidden. I've recently moved, and good gracious. I mean, I had a mess before, let's be honest, but now it's ridiculous. Grab that. It is not going to want to cooperate with me. You know, we might have to get creative with this one. I'm not above doing that. I will do that. In fact, I have some washi tape here. I'm just going to use that in the meantime, and hopefully it'll hold. Maybe use some score tape. If you cut it down, grab that 1/8 inch score tape, or cut down your 1/4 inch. We're just going to do this right now because my glue is not cooperating. Nobody's going to see this, okay? That just gave me a little bit of added reinforcement there. So now we have double layers. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can turn it this way so you can see better. Isn't that cool? Now I'm going to glue all of this down. So we've got 2 tabs to glue down. And this little dude is probably going to need extra reinforcements again, because it's being extra special today. So we're just going to go ahead and prepare for that. And you see what I did there? Okay, so I added glue on those tabs. I folded the side down, that way we know we can meet it. Give that a second to attach. We're going to do the same thing. Add glue here on this side. Fold the front closed, and then we'll wiggle it around back and forth to make sure everything glued right and everything's square. Hopefully before our glue adheres too greatly in case we need to make any adjustments. So you see, we're going to go back and forth. Forgive my fingernails, a little dirty. I've been doing a lot of yard work. It's incredible. You think you get all the dirt out, and then you look and you go, oh man. Okay. All right, I think we're good. Okay, so there is our box card with our really cool layers. You can see I've added, it's very hard to tell, but there's a smidge of difference between these 2 layers. It is there, I promise. I don't know how well you can see it from that side. Maybe you can see it from here a little bit. Anyways, so we've added a little bit of extra dimension in there with the extra layer. And then we layered some clouds in here too to give it more interest. And now let's assemble our cake and candles. Okay, so add this frosting layer to this bottom layer. Okay. Here's our candles. These can be a little tricky, I'm not gonna lie. So if you had some of that, that sticky, I can't remember what it's called, where you can It's like a double-sided sticky sheet. You can layer it behind the pattern paper before you cut it out. And then all you do is peel off the release paper and sticky it down. That would probably be helpful, but a couple little dots works fine here as well. We may not use all 3 candles on the card once we finish assembling it, but I will go ahead and get them all glued together anyways. And then I found for the candle tops, I actually really loved this one gold paper from the She's a Dream. It's this piece, and I cut the flames from here because I thought it looked really cool. You'll see here. And so what I do for these is I add, how did I do it on the other card? I think I added it behind. You can add it over the top. I kind of like seeing the wiki like that though. I think we'll just glue them on top for this card. So there you go. There's our flame. Glue and glue. If you wanted to be all kinds of authentic, you could color your wicks black or something from burning. Okay, there's our 3 candles. There's our cake layers. I went ahead and glued the happy birthday together. And now we can assemble. Oh, my legs are killing me sitting on the floor. My apologies. All right, so I think I want to put the main cake layer behind here, but I do want to see some of that cloud. That kind of defeats the whole purpose there. Maybe we'll just go really tall with this cake. Or maybe we'll just use 1 layer cake. I think I kind of like the idea of a 1 layer cake. Yeah. So in this respect, I think I'm just going to use a single layer, only because I want to see the clouds more. But at least you've seen the assembly of that part. So let's glue down the single layer cake. Like so. I might tucky it down a little bit more. So you can see the clouds there. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna put our sweet lady here. I am gonna glue her flat because there's already gonna be a lot poking up, and I'm concerned if I add dimension, she's gonna be even more wobbly. So I think the happy birthday we'll put here. And I think I wanted to put the clouds under here, so let me do that too. And this was in the die cut set as well. Okay, let me just push it down. Okay. The happy birthday I might pop up. I have, where did I set it? This coaster material that I like to use. Another fellow crafter shared this before. It's kind of eco-friendly. It's not as thick as foam tape. It's very sturdy. And again, it's not a plastic. And you can die cut it, so also a bonus. Put the happy birthday over here. There's the cake. And now we can add some candles. Yeah, we'll add all 3 candles there. So let me start with the center one. Let's see how well we can put those. I probably should do it the other way. Let me glue it right, I have the cloud layer, so I can get it in the front and then sandwich it between. Oh, I think I kind of got that in the middle. Sweet. Push that down, and let's get the other ones in there. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, last one. Grr. Get in there, you little candle. There we go. Okay, I know it's hard to see, but at least we know it's there. You can see it behind her. There we go. And I pulled some of these little sparkle twinkle things from the die cut set. I think I'll just add a couple here. And then maybe one more over here. And I think that will finish our card. And in fact, I will retain this last cake layer. Oh, my glue mess. We can put it here at the bottom. You could add another candle, and we'll just kind of maybe add a twinkle or something. That way we've decorated all sides of the box card. Let's add the twinkle right here. Okay, so there you have it. There's our She's a Dream Happy Birthday pop-up envelope, fully assembled. We added an extra layer. We threw some clouds in using the cloud edgers, and it's really stinking cute, I think. Okay, and then as promised, here is an additional one that was a little bit quicker assembly. So this one I used the I Love Games paper pack, as well as the Cute Girls Funnin' Games colored die cut pieces. So I used just the single die cut here. You could always color her from the stamp set as well and use her. And then just assembled the envelope box card as I did here. I just used one layer for that inner piece, bumped it up a bit, sat her on that piece there, added the happy birthday. I did not put a cake on this layer, but I did use 2 of the candles to embellish just off to the side of the happy birthday. And because I die cut the base out of black, I die cut another of this beautiful scalloped edge piece for the back for sentiment and put the 3rd candle off to the side. So again, we have another fully decorated envelope box card all the way around. And those are my 2 examples for you today. So thank you for hanging tough. I know this went over just half an hour. But I hope this answered some of your questions, those of you that had them regarding assembly and what to do with some of the pieces. And I can't wait to see all of your amazing creations in the Inspiration group. Until next time, thank you so much. Bye.